And staff, Lauren left, new financial coordinator, we had 2 employees. We just been busy.
Well, I know one of the biggest issues we had was that credit, and I think
I think you got that pretty much resolved. The only time we have issues every now and then is agents with their MacBooks coming in and out. That's the only ones who really have issues with. For the most part, I mean, we're pretty they're laughing at us about these QR codes. Like, this is all the information for it. If you scan this, yeah, it'll have all the info and stuff. And so we have
Take one test.
Yeah, they'll have some down there. I see. All the info.
We don't have enough.
Yeah. Jim would look at me.
All right, everybody. Welcome out. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you to the Light Center for giving us this amazing space. My name is DJ Digital. I'm excited to be here today as somewhat of a moderator. I guess I'm more of a facilitator of conversation surrounding an exciting new development here in Lafayette off Johnston near Camellia Boulevard, known as the Forum. So what is the Forum? Let's start with the technical definition of a forum. It says here, according to Merriam-Webster, I looked this up before I came here, a forum is a place, meeting, or a medium where ideas and views on a particular issue can be exchanged. Now, what is the forum that we're going to be discussing today? The Forum is an 8.4-acre commercial, mixed-use, and multifamily development focused on providing a lifestyle center that is built around a collection of upscale boutiques, local and regional restaurants, and entertainment venues with the help of local and regional entrepreneurs, businesses who share a similar vision, values, and the forward thinking for creating a compelling retail, entertainment, and lifestyle development. Now, hearing about it is exciting. It's a lot of big words, but seeing it for yourself is even better. So we've actually got a special video presentation for you guys that we'd love to share with everybody right now.
The Forum is a place where everyone in Lafayette can come hang, they could shop, they could eat, they could have a good time.
The Forum is for everyone. It's kind of I guess, an escape.
Forum's going to be a unique place that Lafayette doesn't have. We'll hopefully have people that want to just stay around and spend some time.
I was opening up in different cities and then realized like, hey man, home. I got to take care of home. I want to give Lafayette a new store. Along came Alex Luna and it was like, hey man, I have an idea too.
I lived in some big cities. There was always these developments and shopping experiences that had all of these amenities that were different than your traditional shopping experiences, right? I'm really into art and museums, and if you go to like some of the best museums, they're all like these like Goliath buildings with big open windows, and I just wanted to design a space of that sort, right? So I brought Terry in to turn this development around.
Forum, it's at 4533 Johnson Street. It's basically 8 acres of what was the Grand Marché Shopping Center. I've been doing this for 40 years. But this one's been unique. I mean, this has been a blighted property in Lafayette for so many years. I think people have just ignored it was there, but they're gonna change it.
So when you walk past these storefronts, instead of having like framing that kind of blocks your views, you have glass panels just across a whole side of a building where you can like look into the space. You can almost feel like you're in it without actually walking in yet.
It'll have readily available parking, so you're not parking in a huge parking lot and traversing along there.
The sunset, these buildings also illuminate the walkways, which is cool. You get all these elements working together to create like a really cool ambiance for the entire development.
When you get out, you're going to want to move around a little bit because there's things happening on the outside beyond the shops themselves.
We're planning to do all kind of events. We're going to have like weekends. We're going to close the streets down where people have to park on the outside of the stores and there will just be events going on. Maybe a live band. It's not just shopping or anything like that. We want you to come experience, come hang out, just come talk. Spend your day here. I think it'll be a cool thing. That, along with the crazy designs that Terry and Alex did, will make people want to come on the tour. Just walking around, looking at the buildings, it'll be something to see.
I think you'll see some activity out there in October, November, and
Hopefully by summer 2022, you'll see businesses in and people being able to experience those.
This project means a lot to me. It's my heart. It's everything about it. I'm excited to show it to the world. I mean, Lafayette's given me so much. To be able to give something of this magnitude back, to have people excited about it, to come hang, to come spend their day, I mean, that's dream come true, means the world.
and I really feel like once they come to the forum, they'll be back.
Keep up with us on, our social media platforms and website with the updates coming, and be a part of the journey with us.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy that? Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. Right now, I'd like to introduce a few people who you actually just saw in that amazing clip. First up, owner and operator of the forum, also the owner and founder of Sneaker Politics. Some of you may be familiar with that store here in Lafayette. It's a global sneaker boutique and lifestyle brand that was started right here in Lafayette in 2006 and has since expanded to 5 markets with storefronts in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Austin, most recently Dallas. Derek Curry. Next up, owner and founder of Collective Woodwork and Design. Alex got his start as a marketing specialist for Saucony, a shoe brand that eventually led him into designing complete storefronts in major markets like Austin, Dallas, New Orleans, and now as a designer developer of the forum here in Lafayette, Alex Luna. All right, hold your applause. Next up, because this is the man who actually brought all these crazy ideas to life. Someone had to make it work. Owner and founder of Architects Design Studio, over 40 years of experience in design and development, from shopping centers to medical facilities for Oxnard, projects for multiple school boards throughout Acadiana and beyond, worldwide. The list goes on and on. We don't have enough time to list all of his accolades, but not only has he watched Lafayette grow over the last 4 decades, it's very likely that he's had a personal hand in the design and development, as I just found out before this started, Mr. Terry Crochet. And last but not least, because someone's got to put people in these beautiful buildings, right? Chances are you've seen his name on one of the thousands of white and blue signs all around Acadiana. They feature his name, owner of Katie Real Estate, Mr. Jim Katie.
Yeah.
Since you guys, broke ground, actually we're gonna. Is this on? Is this? Yeah, we're gonna get loose for a bit. So we're gonna let you guys hold on to the mics. Since you guys broke ground at the forum, there's been plenty of excitement, but there's also been plenty of questions. What's going on there? From great questions to scared questions. So I tried my best to bring some of the biggest questions directly to the source. I actually printed them out as recent as yesterday when we kind of put a teaser out. So let's start with the thing that everybody's wondering. What stores, restaurants, businesses, what will we see at the forum? Are there any names that you guys can discuss today? Derek, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so to start, Sneaker Politics is definitely going to be in there. That was the whole, how this begun. I was looking to put a store somewhere, and Alex convinced me to do not only a store, but a whole city. And so that'll be in there. We also got my good friend Jared from Legends, who is going to be on the journey along.
Is he here today?
Yeah, he's here today.
Is he here today?
Yeah.
Jared Williams.
Very excited to have him aboard.
So he bought in and he didn't even know what this is going to be. He said, I'm
No
in.
clue.
No clue.
Friends doing deals.
Awesome.
We also have other friends we're talking to right now, working on LOIs, such as like a juice place, a coffee place, different bars and restaurants we're talking to, that hopefully we can announce all the names soon.
And Alex, I know, as far as the types of businesses and things like that.
Yeah, other regional and national businesses such is Shipley's Donuts. Obviously, there's other talks with that, Jim's been dealing with that you don't want to disclose at this time. But
Yeah.
hopefully, we'll bring a lot of business to
Yeah, we learned through coaching changes recently, you're not supposed to talk about the deal until the deal is actually done, so we'll try to be better than what we've seen over the last 24 to 48 hours. So, no, that's awesome. And I don't know if you want to throw it over to Jim. Someone's going to leak the secret. If we keep going down the row, someone's going to give us some information. I've heard a few rumors. Jim, as someone who's going to be tasked with getting people into these buildings, have you seen interest locally, regionally, nationally from brands that are interested in what this space is going to be?
Yeah, it's been phenomenal already, and we haven't even broke ground. Actually launched it. Today's our launch date, so we've already fielded multiple LOIs from national and local companies. Some really good up and coming small local businesses as well. So we're really we're hoping to launch it as of today and really put it out there for the world and start filling up the space. One thing I think that separates this from a lot of other projects that we've seen in the last 4 or 5 years in Lafayette is Derek is actually, they're building it now. So it's happening. This isn't something that they're waiting on leases to begin construction. This is happening, which is exciting, at least from my standpoint, because it's always difficult to lease out a proposed site that's not necessarily on the slate or shovel ready. So shovels are in the ground, they're going after it, and I'm hoping to have some people in by the spring of next year.
Yeah.
I know at least Shipley's is.
Yeah, so we have donuts and shoes so far, and maybe, I think we answered before the public can get to it, we answered the legends question. And kind of moving on to the location, Johnson Street, look, I cover a lot of news, we see a lot of developing businesses here. Why this location? You could have followed suit, did the outskirts thing. We're seeing some development which is great. We love growth, obviously, in Lafayette and Acadiana. You could have done the outskirts thing. You chose Johnston Street. And Derek, I know your flagship store was opened on Johnston next to Piccadilly. And then, you moved across the street into the corner on the other side of the, Arnold Boulevard Shopping Center. And then you actually built a second Lafayette location. You guys want to know where you put the second location? Next door to his store on Johnson Street. So what is the fixation with Johnson Street, Derek? I mean, is there something about that area of town? Is it something that your clientele has is that something that they've almost dictated as far as where you wanted to set up shop for something like this?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's the center of Lafayette. Everyone could get there quick. We take all walks of lives in our stores, and Johnson Street's just that center location. Opening up in Dallas, we were going to build on the outsides when we did Dallas, and they convinced me to do the middle of the city because they were redeveloping it, making it look good again. And I took that chance and did it, and it's turned out to be the greatest thing we've done. So being able to do it in Lafayette before everyone does keep moving out, to bring back the center of Lafayette to be a hot destination. I mean, everyone's passing this up anyway. To see something great there instead of an empty parking lot, I just thought would be a really good thing.
Yeah, I feel like for 20 years, when I met you, you were actually managing Finish Line in the mall.
Yeah.
And I know ever since I've known you, it's been off of Johnson Street. You live not far off of Johnston. And I'm like, did he do this because he drives past it every day?
Every day.
Every day. For 20 years. And you said,
this empty parking lot.
yeah, all right, well, so that's great. Alex, as someone who's doing the designs and really kind of putting together how this is going to look, behave, how it's going to work for people, what did you see in the space when you collaborated with Derek?
Yeah, having been from larger cities and living in those areas, I noticed that people just kept moving away. Right, they build this infrastructure and then abandon it and leave it there, to become desolate. So it was a way, when we saw the property, to kind of think about, okay, how can we use space that has already been used and do something different with it, right? Instead of continuing to just grow and get wider and wider. So I think it ended up working out and it fit Derek's business model pretty well since he's at 3 locations and
They're literally within 100 feet of one another. Yeah. I thought it was Piccadilly at first, you know. I thought, and I know brother Abdallah was someone who met you early, and we'll talk about that a little later on, and I think he was just giving him a good deal. I didn't understand it, but you've always loved Johnson, and you're saying the same thing where you're from. You noticed people would build, abandon.
Yeah, it would just, they would just forget about the things that once were, and it was just kind of heartbreaking, man. So to do it here in a city that, I've only been here 3 years, it's awesome.
Yeah, Jim, can you speak to the area? You work with a lot of real estate, a lot of development. You've had your hand in, where people want to be. What can you say about this specific location and why it's great for the forum?
Well, first of all, the traffic count. When you're opening up a retail facility, you want to have, high traffic and high visibility. Also, the ingress and egress is good at this location. It's not difficult to get in there. It's not difficult to get out. And with Camellia and Johnson Street, it's just an ideal location for a retail and a redevelopment right there.
Yeah. All the data and research is done at Classic Car Wash. I'm kidding, that didn't happen. So a big question, and I've seen this probably the most in the last 24 hours. What makes you different than every other shopping center? We got nice ones. We have, I call it the Costco compound. We've got a lot of newer development. We've got some things popping up on the outskirts. We've got, a lot of strip malls. We've got River Ranch a block away. What makes you guys different than every other shopping center in Lafayette?
One of the big things we wanted to do was, when I opened up politics, I thought I knew exactly what to do. But the community kind of dictated me and swung me different ways to adapt. I think we want to do the same thing here and let the community kind of tell us what they want. They want to hang out. They want more outdoor space. They want to, retail, restaurants to hang. I think that's the main thing we're going for.
Yeah, so I want to ask you this, and you're in New Orleans in the French Quarter.
Correct.
Baton Rouge, you're not in Perkins Road, you're across the street.
Yeah.
In Austin, you're
Second
Street. Dallas, you've grown with the Deep Ellum community. That's it's been growing. What are you taking away from those different spots that you feel like there's something that you can bring from what you've learned in those spots?
Yeah, definitely. I touched on the Dallas thing earlier, and that's what made me double down on the middle of Lafayette, because I know it can be great. And there's so much great things surrounding it. The college is right there, River Ranch and everything's right there, neighborhoods all around it. So, it's the center of Lafayette. Everyone's close.
Yeah.
It's not a destination, it's not far for anyone to get there.
Yeah, and I think, being so close to, the original store, I remember, that was the reason why you chose the first location, Johnson, Louisiana Avenue. If you're coming from anywhere, because a lot of your clientele, it's either out of state, in Lafayette, Acadiana area, people take the trip down I-10, and it's always been convenient. So again, I'm still trying to figure out the fixation with Johnson Street. We'll get to it at some point here. Actually, we haven't heard much from Terry, and I think if there's anybody who can tell us what makes them different than every other shopping center, is someone who has designed every other shopping center. From your technical standpoint as an architect, pen to paper, what do you see different just right off the bat with this one?
Initially, this is not a strip center. It's not a vast parking lot with shops.
By the way, nothing wrong with any of these things, vast parking lots or strip malls.
It's what's going to make this different, though.
Okay.
You have parking available at each of the shops for a much better experience. And it's just, these guys have so much energy, I'm trying to keep up. But it's the things they do, the block parties and all that stuff, where we can close off streets and have bands in there and really entertain folks. And then when you come to shop, you're going to enjoy the experience and you'll be back.
Yeah, it's thinking about that culture that you're kind of talking about, the culture of who we are in Lafayette. As a DJ during the pandemic, I thought I was in the DJ business, thought I was in the live music business, thought I was in the radio business, thought I was in all these. I realized I was in the gathering business, and when we couldn't gather and come together, I was rendered useless. And then I found the internet and streaming. But no, speaking of that culture, I've heard more than once that one of the goals of the forum is to provide a place. I heard you say, Derek, you kept going back, just hang out, just hang out, just hang out. But also I've heard you in conversation talk about a place where people with great ideas don't feel like they have to leave Lafayette to see their ideas come to fruition. For example, Caroline's Cookies. Is anybody lucky enough to have one of those? So you think about someone who, was she 19? I feel she's got to be 20 now. She's been 19 forever, but you know, we have amazing cookies in Lafayette. We have so many great local bakeries. We have the great cookie thing, ice cream combinations, but you got this 19-year-old girl had a cookie recipe, line out of the door, and if you would have told someone, they'd be like, oh, there's cookies, you don't have to do that, but she had an idea, she was given a platform, and you know, I don't even, is she sold out? She's probably sold out by now today, but we have a farmer's market. If you've ever gone to Munkus, and so many people, like, man, we're the most creative people, I think, on earth. We can stretch food, we can do all these amazing things. Derek, the entrepreneurial spirit you see in Lafayette, and how you want the forum to be a platform for those ideas to come to life, speak on that, you know, when it comes to your vision of this place, for those people with ideas here in Lafayette.
Yeah, so I was that kid. I had a dream of opening up a shoe store, which was insane to everyone else, and it turned out pretty well. I'm so happy to open up the whole middle of the shopping center for people with ideas like that. Like different things we've never heard of, like some crazy coffee place that also serves wine in the afternoon, like different things. So I'm willing to take bets on young entrepreneurs to put them in this center to see their new ideas flourish. Because a lot of people don't. They look at numbers, they look at things, and they're like, oh no, they're not financially stable. I'm gonna take some of those risks. Because if someone wouldn't have took the risk on me, we would never be here right now. So I think that'll be a really cool thing for everyone.
Yeah, who was your Derek Curry, if you don't mind? Who was the person who like kind of saw what you were doing and gave you a platform to grow into, you know?
Man, I wish I could remember her name, but it was actually a real estate agent who met with me to give me my first lease, and she told me all the details, and I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, well, this is where you negotiate. And I was like, well, what do I say? Held my hand through the whole process, helped me with a building allowance, told me everything, took a huge chance on me because I had nothing. I came from nothing. And took a huge chance on me. We got a bunch of IKEA furniture, painted the walls ourselves, and opened up. We expected customers to come, which didn't happen. But I learned a lot, and in 3 years we did build a business up, and it did start working. And just for her to help me out with that initial step, when I went to 7 other shopping centers and no one took the chance on me. So maybe that's why I like Johnson so much. Johnson took that chance.
Awesome. Shout out to Johnson Street, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, real quick to wrap up the cultural, you mentioned, you know, I remember when I first, you know, started talking to you about this, we never called it a shopping center. We never discussed it as a, you know, retail opportunity, cultural experience.
Yeah, I think just to kind of iterate what Derek kind of talked on is like these businesses do make a development, but at the heart of those businesses, it's people, right? It's the people creating these experiences for the community around them. So we wanted to make sure that that's what we captivated for the development.
Now, awesome. Last question for Jim. Now that this space has gone public, if somebody in Lafayette is kind of looking at this, or maybe they're going to watch this later on, how do they get in? You know, they want in, they want to know more. What's the best way, the best path for someone to get, you know, to you, your team, to learn more about this?
So just real easy, I mean, you can go to katierealestate.com and reach out to one of our awesome team members. We've got a dedicated team, Charles Ditch, Allison Martin, and Adam Andrews, who are going to be helping me with this project. We're super excited about it. A couple of elements that we didn't mention yet, though, which I'm excited about, I know most people in Lafayette will be. We do have a 6,000 square foot building with a rooftop, which is long overdue. And that is being built. That is available. We've got a few leases, LOIs for that space, but we are fielding those LOIs. We also have 3 drive-through. One of them is Shipley's, and then we have 2 other very small drive-through areas, but they are drive-through up front. And so yeah, if you have any interest whatsoever or know anybody interested, you could go to theforumlaf.com, or you could come to Katie Real Estate. We're real easy to find.
Yeah, and Derek mentioned about the community kind of dictating and swaying where you guys go. You know, people have asked about a phase 2. Is this something you guys plan to build on, or is this kind of where you draw the line? Is that something you could speak on today? And if someone has an idea maybe for something in or around the property. Is that something you guys are looking at in the future?
Phase 2 is definitely happening, and I want to tell you everything about it, but these guys won't let me. So, but we are doing traffic studies. We are doing all these studies out of my pay grade, but they're filling all this in and figuring out what we can add to it. But there definitely will be a phase 2, and I think you guys will be really excited about it. The business involved will be really excited about it. You want to touch a little more on it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what I could actually say.
I mean, in terms of the market studies and feasibility studies, it's really just, we talked about for the culture of Lafayette, we want the community to kind of shape what happens here. So in doing that, we want to be sure that, you know, what we're conducting makes sense and that we don't put something there that, you know, just for monetary purposes, right? So we're being careful in, you know, making sure what we do actually works and kind of creates the culture that we're trying to create there.
So feedback, basically, you're going to kind of listen to what people have to say. Guys, great, thank you so much. I want to open up the floor for more questions. We'll do that in a bit. But first, we have a few special guests I'd like to, bring up to say a few words. We're very happy to have them here with us today. First up, Lafayette Mayor President Josh Guillory, if you come up.
Man, I want to hear more from these guys. That's some politician. All right, Jared, I do have a question, though.
Sir.
Now, is this Legends 822 in Lafayette? I've been keeping count. Yeah. No, I love it. I'm so inspired by you guys. I really am. When I first heard about your project, I was just excited. So I'm glad we can kind of talk about it a little bit out in the public. But I mean, what you see here is just ingenuity, people taking risk, calculated risk, very responsible risk for all the investors out there. I don't want to scare them off, but I am thankful for you. Thank you for believing in Lafayette. Thank you for believing in our people. You're right. We have the best workforce, the best culture, the best community to do something like this. There's no better place to develop than Lafayette, Louisiana, and it's because of just awesome people like you. Period. Done. It's not the government. It's people like you that come in here and want to do something great like this. So thank you to Katie Realty, Derek, Alex, Terry, saw my boy Tony C over there from Katie. Thank you for all that you do too. Keep me involved in the realtor world. I mean, how exciting is this though? A $50 million investment right in the heart of Lafayette, Louisiana. I mean, I'm just thrilled. Now, Mandy, you've been on the ground officially, right? 3 weeks. Okay. So we have cameras here, we have recordings. So every 3 weeks, we should expect a $50 million announcement. But I'll tell you what, though, I'm excited to be able to be up here with Mandy Mitchell, our new lead director. She has great ideas. She thinks big. She's not afraid to be bold. She has a wonderful team that she inherited. I know that she's going to continue to grow Lita. And there's so many people in this audience that I can reference to what makes our environment, what makes the development environment in Lafayette. So just thank you to everybody here. This is, as we saw in the video, this property is going to, this development is going to revitalize a very stagnant property. Something just sitting there. I mean, it takes ingenuity. It takes thinking outside the box. We're going to see architecture here in Lafayette that we haven't seen before. I love the idea about the glass and how you feel like you're part of it when you drive down Highway 167. Also, a shout out to Johnson Street. I'm trying to keep up with it. We're going to be able to attract local and national investment to this development, which is exciting as a community. And I know it's going to take off. I can't wait to hear more about Phase 2, and I can't wait till Phase 1 is complete. This is right in line with the developments that you're going to see in Lafayette, from Trap A to our downtown investments to our park investments and our investment in our cultural initiatives here in Lafayette, our quality of life initiatives. The next 3 to 5 years is going to be extremely exciting. We referenced coming back in and develop. For the last 20 years, it's been an initiative for development out, and there's nothing wrong with that, and we support all that. But we've missed some opportunities to grow in. And this is an opportunity to go right to part of Lafayette and do something really big and really great. So very excited about that. We're going to continue to work with all of our stakeholders here. And guys, we are here locally to help you and do whatever we can to make those great dreams come true. But thank you for believing in Lafayette, and thank you guys for celebrating with us.
right, thank you, Josh. I thought I saw Josh Carlson here. I get mixed up with all the Joshes. I've lost the Josh. Was he here earlier? No? Okay, well, if he shows up, we'll get him here. But thank you, Mayor President. Yes, new director, Lafayette Economic Development Authority, aka LEDA. I'm going to say it like that. Mandy Mitchell, 3 weeks on the job.
DJ Digital. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me here today. And it's a little way for me to kick off week 3. This is only my 3rd week on the job, and I can't take credit for it, but I'm excited for this project. I'll tell you, today's announcement is exciting news for our community. Businesses moving further from the center of town create urban sprawl and a vehicle dependency, and we want to see that trend reverse, but we can walk and chew gum. We can do both at the same time. This is exciting. I want to commend the developers of the forum on their decision to reinvest in the center of town and to bring commerce back to a vacant property. That's my jam too, redevelopments. This development is going to create jobs. It's going to encourage and catalyze additional development in the area, and it's going to provide retail and entertainment opportunities for our residents here in Lafayette and all of Acadiana, as a matter of fact. Expanding retail and entertainment opportunities will reap the benefits for the community in the form of new jobs, new tax revenue, Mayor, and enhanced quality of life. And quality of life, by the way, is one of many factors that business leaders now consider first when they're making their decisions to relocate to an area or to expand their business in an area. So the forum is going to add to our region's quality of life and our cultural experience, and it will add to our cool factor. Derek and Alex, you guys didn't give me the memo about sneakers today, but you got to work on that. But I also want to just say that quality of life and placemaking are increasingly becoming those elements, the secret sauce to community and economic development. And that is a real deal. So I am so thrilled to hear about not just the investments in the shops and the businesses, but the cultural experience that people will be able to enjoy at the forum. I want to thank Jim Cady and his team member Adam Angers and the entire team really at Cady Real Estate for their work on this project. Thank you, Derek Curry, Alex Luna, right? And Terry Crochet for your commitment, your creativity, your entrepreneurialism, and your commitment to investing and improving Lafayette and Acadiana. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mandy. And one more, we've got Zach Hagar, VP of Economic Development at One Acadiana.
All right, thank you very much. Been driving past the property for the last few weeks and kind of wondering, what was going to happen behind the walls. I told my wife that I was going to get a sneak peek. So if everybody could just not mention anything until I get home, I would appreciate that. I just want to be the one to tell her about the exciting things. But very excited to be here today, especially to celebrate a $50 million investment being made right here in Lafayette and Acadiana. As One Acadiana, a regional economic development organization for the region, but also the Chamber of Commerce for Lafayette, we understand the impact a multifaceted development like the forum can bring to our community, and we're very excited to see it. As we see time after time, projects like the forum are made possible through partnerships like you see here today. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Derek, Alejandro Luna, Terry Crochet, as well as Jim Keedy and his entire team for what they were able to put together today. I know I promised to say a lot more nice things about you, Jim, but I couldn't fit it into the timing. We had to do all the back end. But I want to thank you guys very much for that. Cannot wait to see the vision of the forum take shape. Honestly, partnerships like this one will continue to be the cornerstone of economic development wins within Lafayette and Acadiana as a whole. So we're very excited. And when the time comes, we're looking forward to attending the mini ribbon cuttings of all the businesses that you guys are able to bring into our community. So once again, thank you so much for everything you guys done.
All right, thank you, Zach. All right, so let's open up the floor right now for any questions. Anybody out there, just kind of raise your hand if you do have a question for anybody or everyone up on the panel. Does anybody have any questions? Developing Lafayette. What's up, Ben?
How's it going, man? I heard rumors that there might be residential included in this. Is that something that's potentially on the board?
Yeah, we're currently conducting market research to see if that's something that'll work for that area.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? I don't know your name. Adam Daigle. I do your name. Oh my God, your hair is different. Awesome, dude, it looks great. Adam Daigle, ladies and gentlemen.
I was curious about the layout design, kind of where you get the ideas from. Is it really kind of similar to any kind of other developments around the country? It's going to be pretty unique to this area.
Yeah, we definitely took cues from like Austin, Dallas, things like that were kind of doing things like this, to where you could bring your family, you could shop, you could go have a beer, but you could also hang out on the outside, ping pong, like there'll be games, there'll be things set up, and I'll let Alex talk more on that. He was the creative genius behind it. I just would see the picture and say, yeah, that's very cool, we want that. He was the one that came up with it.
So we actually have a video that kind of shows a fly-through rendering of the entire property. I think that'll answer some of the questions, and we can go into the design afterwards. Speaking about the design, obviously it's Terry and I worked, I don't know how many months trying to configure the layout for the space, you know, to accommodate the parking for the amount of leasable square footage. But the one thing that I think really separates it is generally in like a shopping center or development, the most cost-effective way to do it is to build one large building with multiple tenant spaces inside of it, and it doesn't create this like walkability right throughout the space or property. So what we wanted to do was to create these buildings that you could walk in from one end and exit to another and end up somewhere else on the property. So as you can see in the video, there's like this center green space, right? That'll kind of be this hangout area for the community, right? You could grab some food, grab a drink, go shopping, hang out in the center of it. And through all this, like, you'll hopefully, go through these corridors between the buildings where there's greenery and, again, between those corridors, you'll see these large glass panes that, that show you into each space, which is kind of cool. The one thing that we wanted to do is not only highlight the architecture and design elements of the buildings, but the businesses within them. So by having these big open spaces that are modern and clean, it kind of allows each boutique or business to kind of shine and put a little bit more money into their build out. I think time and time again you see businesses kind of skimp on that because they're so enclosed in these tight spaces. So now hopefully it'll give them that creative freedom to kind of dig a little deeper, and with our help, give them something they can truly be proud of.
Well, I think, as you said, the shopping experience is going to be different. You'll pull up to a shop and be able to walk from shop to shop without, and being really, as they would say, a cool public space.
Terry, do you feel cooler hanging out with these guys? Has it changed your fashion changed at all?
It's in reverse.
The sweater is throwing me off there, by the way. Terry's actually, who say two?
I'm aging the group.
That's incredible. One thing, and I know you're doing, and I know it was your question, but, and I meant to touch on this earlier. I was, listening to you guys talk about it, down to the way the sun sets in the area. You guys are going to use materials on the building that'll work with the sunset to kind of cast this ambiance on the area that you kind of described. Was that your idea? Because Alex took credit for it, for sure.
I'll give it to him.
You give it to him? Yeah.
Yeah, it was really a collaboration. I mean, Derek, Alex, and I, we spent a lot of time together looking at options and that. Did a lot of drawing to get to the point we're at, and looked at many concepts is what we do. And that's kind of what we're doing with the second phase.
Yeah.
Kind of see what happens as the first phase, and it may dictate some of the things we do in the future phase.
Yeah, awesome. Any other questions out there? You were quick. You already had one. You in the back. You'll get another one, man.
My name is Mikey. I am here on behalf of all inspiring millennials who've been sitting on dreams. And the question that I had, Derek, we all know your story is so inspirational. The question that I have is that you guys have a certain ratio of the young entrepreneurs that you're going to give opportunities to versus a first come, first serve. Because we know that established big brands can come in like that before the young millennial or the young person that's been dreaming of this for a long time. They may not be able to move as fast. So how would that go? Do you have a ratio?
We don't have a ratio, but you're absolutely correct. So the front of the building, we're gonna take those first come, first served clients, but in the center, like where my store will be, where Legends will be, I want those people there. So I'm focusing on you guys. Like, I want to hear those crazy ideas and put you in there. I hope everyone in Lafayette comes with me with a cool business idea, and it's just Lafayette natives. Like, that would be my dream. That's what I'm hoping happens. So yeah, throw your cool ideas at us, man. Let's figure it out and make it work. That would really make me excited. Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, so how many total units are for lease? How many total units are pending lease or leased? And then what is the biggest unit that you have in square footage?
I definitely should know this, but I'm gonna.
And back to Jim. Jim's on the right.
All right, so we have just over 50,000 square feet leasable. Politics, Legends, and Shipley's, leaves us about 40,000. And this is the first phase, so obviously this is going to expand. But in this phase, which is everything that you guys see today, so we got about 40,000 square feet of available. We do have LOIs that we're entertaining and working with, and I can tell you firsthand, these guys it's really about the feel and the culture. That has been a top priority for them, and it's not driven by dollar signs. So I've got to commend them for sticking to what their vision is, and it's exciting to just be a part of this. But I hope I answered your question.
Came close.
Yeah.
Awesome. In the back?
Yeah, but I asked about like the largest space, which would be about
6210 is the space that is the, it's really designed, they've designed it for a restaurant with a veranda on the second floor. But that's probably the largest space, other than, I don't know how big your space is.
is right there, 61.
Yeah, so Politics is really going to be the anchor tenant. Legends, having Legends in there, I think is going to be really critical to establishing, people that are walking around the storefront shopping.
Thank you.
Do you have a designated point of contact for investor relations?
Designated point of contact for investor relations.
There's a contact page on the website at theforumlaf.com.
And we'll have a lot of that information. I think if you got a QR code, we'll give that out at the end. Boyer.
So you guys talk a lot about the food and drink component. Is there any thought or plan for like a modern contemporary food hall, or is it all standalone restaurant spaces?
No, you nailed it. We are trying to make a food hall happen. Another thing I took from Dallas, they're doing a lot of them now. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically you take restaurants like say Tsunami or Central Pizza who are downtown, but people on this side of town love to eat that, but they don't have the time to go all the way downtown.
what happens is we build this building and there's 4 restaurants in there, and we could go to lunch. He might not eat sushi, he might want pizza, I want a hamburger. We all split up, grab our things, and sit at a table in the middle and eat. Definitely something we're working on, and I hope I have a meeting tomorrow actually to hopefully make that happen.
And if you're interested, just contact us. That might help us drive that project forward.
Yes. Cool. Put some good eats in there. In the corner.
Hey, my name's Dave. I had a question about like the events. Are they going to be concerts? You know, how many?
It's gonna be all DJ sets. Don't try to get into it. Just one point of entertainment. No, I'm kidding. So
How much could that, in phase 1, how much could that hold? You know what I mean?
yeah, so we didn't touch much on that, but events are a main thing about it because, like I said, community is everything. So at Politics, one of our biggest things we do is a Shake Back Sunday event the first Sunday of every month. We bring all the guys together. We raffle off like hot shoes that are coming out that month, and then donate a portion of the proceeds to some charity, local charity, which started off really small, and now it's so big we can't fit it in the store. So building the shopping center, that was one of my main concerns. And we're gonna make it to where the parking lot, there'll be bollards that come up and close that middle parking lot over. We let all the businesses know what's gonna happen, and we throw an event that day. Now, I hope I'm not the only store doing that. I hope every other store in there is like, hey, on Thursday we wanna do this event. Can we close it down? Yes. To where there's non-stop things going. We're eventually gonna hire a team that handles things like that. So we have live music, we have different things going on to where everyone in the center is involved in it, and they're each throwing their own events, and we also have central local events going on. Yes.
Hi, I'm Jillian with Better Business Bureau and the 705. I was curious, there's events for the stores that are there. Will it be open possibly for other venues to rent a public space outside?
Didn't get that far, really. Great idea, and we would definitely field those questions. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like something that would definitely work. Cool. Who else we got? I know a couple hands have gone up. Want to make sure we get everybody coming up on an hour.
So hey, Chelsea from Anytime Fitness. Thanks Alex and Terry for putting up with me for the last year.
Are you the Anytime next door?
Yeah.
Next to the plaza?
Right. So
Phase 7? No, I'm kidding.
So thanks for putting up with me. Secondly, is to touch on what you said, is there anything to mesh Grand Marche in with the forum once that development is done? Move that's not linger, like let us linger there.
For sure. I mean, obviously we haven't blocked ourselves off to Grand Marche. There's cross access between it. So we're hoping that, hey, you want to hold any outdoor fitness stuff in our green area, come on down. Like, it's all about community. So we want to make sure to continue to drive that, and you're a neighbor, so come on down.
And also a phase 3 might involve you guys anyway if it works out the way we want. So it would bring more of that shopping center together. Cool. Any other questions? Anybody? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out today. Did you get a QR? Did everybody get a QR code press kit when you walked in? I know we had so many of them. So all the information is actually going to be on this press kit. And for everybody else who maybe didn't grab one of these, please keep up with us on the website. It's theforumlaf.com. And on social media, it is the same thing, theforumlaf.
And Brandon, these QR codes go to that.
And so all these QR codes are the same ones. Don't try to. I've tried to do the one on Johnston. It is not. I don't recommend it. Like at the site, it's a clever. I was like, I'm sitting there like, is it gonna stop? So don't do that. Grab this one. All these QR codes go to the same information. To everybody, Mayor President, Andy, Zach, everyone who spoke today, the guys. Thank you, everybody. Also, I want to thank Brandon, because Brandon has been there at the beginning of all my crazy ideas and has held me and held my hand and corrected all my grammar errors. And I want to thank you so much, man, for all of this. Yeah, man. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And thank you again to the Light Center.